folks, and welcome to Aber, Halt, Junction. For those who've watched a few of my videos to date, thank you. I hope they weren't too painful. I think now I'm 4 or 5 videos in, it makes sense to give you an overview of the inspiration for my layout and what I plan to do. So, get yourself a cup of tea. This is hopefully going to be quick and painless. In 10 minutes it'll be done. So yeah, take a look. It's mainly going to be on the computer, just showing you my inspiration for the layout, my logic, how I think it's going to work. And I really welcome your opinions on this. So please leave your comments in the comments below so I can improve particularly the operability of the layout. I really welcome your feedback on that. Today's a bit different from my other videos. This is going to be focused on my layout design. There'll be a few shots from the actual shed, but this just gives you some idea of how I got the inspiration for my layout and what it will consist of. Okay, so my layout is called Aber, Halt, Junction. It's named after a station that I used to use as a kid. The station used to be called Aber Junction. It's also been called Aber Halt, and it's currently called Aber. So my Aber Halt Junction name is a bastardization of those 3 station titles, all the previous ones. The layout is based on the South Wales valleys in the early 80s. My memories essentially of growing up as a kid. These different aspects that you have on this layout are all things I remember. So it's a nostalgic journey for me really through my childhood. Just a quick bit about this software. I'm going to do a quick how-to 5-minute video on my how-to channel. And it's called SCARM, Simple Computer Aided Railway Modeler, version 1.7.0. This is the free version, which allows you to do 100 objects. So it's not actually limited in any other way. Well, there's a few things. You can't print full scale and you can't do trees and roads and things, but broadly it's an unlimited free version. My plan next month is to actually buy the license key and get the full version. But yeah, big shout out to them. Check them out, scarm.info. It's a really intuitive piece of kit to use. I picked it up in about half an hour. It's really, really good, really powerful. In addition to this 2D version, you can also do 3D views here, like this. Yeah, it's a really powerful bit of kit, and it's really nice. I'm really impressed with it. This gives you some idea anyway of how the layout's going to look, particularly from an elevation perspective. So I'll just quickly run you through the components. This video will only be about 10 minutes, so don't panic. You can finish your tea and crack on with all the other running sessions that you need to get to. I know how much I love watching those. Okay, so the layout, the main components are this green line, clockwise running circuit coming through the main station here, which I'm gonna have to try and make look quite fancy because it's only one set of platforms at the moment. Well, 2 platforms, but only one set of actual infrastructure, so I'll have to make that look pretty good. There's an anti-clockwise running circuit then, this red one. This is tighter than the green one. Some of these radii of these circuits is bordering on 1, particularly through this section here. The green one is a lot easier, a lot less tight. It needs to be slightly redefined coming through here. That'll be sorted out a bit. So yeah, all of that is going to be radius 2 or greater. I will have to check my class 121 and my class 37 that they can take these tight radius 1, particularly changes in direction like this, and also through these tight radius 1 points that I have in this industrial area here. So yeah, in addition to the red and the green main running lines, clockwise and anti-clockwise, there's also an engine shed area, which I'm going to use for diesels and steam locos. I know that's not prototypical, but I'm fairly lacking in space for storage. I haven't got a fiddle yard or anything, and I plan on having all my locos on the layout at any one time. So yes, there'll be an engine shed across here. Again, this has a tight radius 1 entry, so I'm going to have to look at this operation. This turntable that I got from my uncle, there's a video if you want to take a look at it, all the goodies he gave me. This is going to take some work to get it reworking again, so I may have to revert to some sort of normal sidings in here. I have already worked out or run an alternative design for this, for where I get rid of this turntable and have it all done with points. It's a lot messier and it takes up a lot more space. So I'm hoping that I can resurrect this turntable, but watch this space. So yeah, we have an industrial area in here and also the companion platform to this heritage line platform here. I'm going to try and get a power station, or I'm also toying with the idea of having a dock in here somewhere. So this black line here is the coal mine. I'm actually going to try and have a working face here. If I show you again in 3D, you can see there's intentionally quite a sharp cliff in this area here. So I'm going to actually have coal along there, and maybe even some sort of diggers and what have you work in the face, loading up the coal into wagons, and maybe a class 08 shunter working its way through here, and then loading up the class 37 for the return down this slight incline. You can just about see down this incline here, across the clockwise circuit, and then down into the industrial area. I'm going to rework some of these sidings so the class 08 can, push wagons around and uncouple and recouple and what have you, so the class 37 can take them down. Yeah, so this right hand side of the layout, I should also mention that it's bounded, these three sides are bounded by shed walls. So the only one I can get access into is here, and I couldn't work out how to do in the software my operator well. So these sleepers actually represent the operator well in the middle. This means that to any one point, it's only about 70 centimeters. Without having the operator well and having to reach from this side, I would have been, having to stretch maybe a meter, and I'm not the tallest guy. So yeah, now it's a lot more manageable. Just to give you the dimensions, it's 1.4 meters in this direction and 2.6 in that direction. So roughly 8 foot by 4 foot. Yeah, so the coal area here, down to a power plant here. And then there's a heritage line then, which I'm going to run steam locos on. And they will shuttle end to end from here down this incline and into the heritage station here. While I've just started doing this area here, there'll be a video going up in the next week or so on this. I've just started doing this area, and I've realized after starting constructing this incline that potentially I can get 2 lines through there, which would mean then I could do away with this point and have the coal line and the heritage line working independently. And that could mean then using the Sapphire, I got a Hornby Sapphire decoder, which was in the class 37 I bought secondhand on eBay. It could mean that I could program it to shuttle both the heritage line, locos and wagons and what have you, the trains, and the class 37 coal train down the incline and into the power station, and have them both work independently. I think they'd be quite neat. But it does mean it's quite a tight squeeze in this area here, and it would also obviously mean reworking the entrance into the industrial and heritage platform area. So yeah, I'm toying with that idea at the moment. As with all of these things, you get a concept. I originally had this on a piece of paper. I knew roughly what era I wanted to do. I knew roughly the sorts of items I wanted in there. I'd also like water in here somehow, but I don't think there's room. So yeah, I sketched it all out on paper, then I put it into this software. But when you actually put this onto the ground and onto the baseboard, you realize that some of the, even though this looks quite spacious, for example, is quite tight. So this suggests I could get another platform in there, but that's not possible. So once I start laying it out, you then realize that some things work and some things don't. So as all of you know, it's always a work in progress. And yeah, I think I may rework this. I've got to rework the points up here, and potentially I want some more crossovers between the lines as well. I don't want anything fancy happening and in these two tunnels, because yeah, if I get derailments, I've got to cut out my baseboard here, about a 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter cutout. But if I get any derailments down this end, I won't be able to get my hand in there. So I want to keep this section of track as simple as I can, so I can avoid derailments. So that's it in a nutshell. Thanks a lot for coming. I really appreciate it. If you liked what you saw and you'd like to see how the layout develops, I know for one, one of the aspects I love of YouTube is watching how people's layouts develop over time. Yeah, this is completely from scratch. The only thing which I've got in at the moment is this viaduct. For those who saw my retaining wall review last week, I've started doing this section. Yeah, it's brand new. There's none of the other bits are down, and this is all just my concept. So at the moment, it's all open to change. I would welcome your feedback in the comments below. Let me know if you think it's too busy, if you think it could be busier. I think you might be in the minority, but feel free. Please leave your comments. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. And yeah, if you want to follow this layout over its development and hopefully fruition in maybe a year or so, watch this space. Thanks so much for coming. I got 95 subscribers, which I never thought I'd get. It's been a really wonderful journey so far on this social media experience, which is brand new for me. So thank you all for your comments and for your watches. I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.